Hello everyone and welcome to the Europe versus America show match series tournament massive show off. And we've got Kiwikaki versus Tarson here today, and got my co-caster Scan is here with me. Say hello.
Hello. So yes, we do have Kiwikaki versus Tarson for you guys today. Tarson is spawning on the right over here as red Terran, and over on the left as yellow Protoss, we have Kiwikaki. This is the first match of this best of 5, so that automatically means we're going to Metalopolis. Loser chooses the next map.
Absolutely, and we got cross spawns here in Metalopolis, so I think it should be interesting. Hopefully we get a long macro game and some high-end tier 3 units or late game units. Expect to see, lots of the Colossi Immortal stuff. Curious to see if Tarson's going to play infantry or if he's going to do something with tanks. A lot of Terrans seem to be incorporating tanks into their gameplay no matter what these days. Such a useful unit and very positional and very advantageous to use all.
It's arguably the most versatile unit that the Terran has, just because it can be used both offensively and defensively so effectively, especially with their literal meaning siege warfare, to just keep your opponent within a boundary that you can basically set up on the move as long as you have, I'd say, if you have 5 siege tanks with siege mode, you can basically trap an opponent anywhere.
Definitely, yeah. So while the game's still getting started here, big thanks to Steelseries for sponsoring this, as well as StarCraftSource.com. Go ahead and check out StarCraftSource.com, their forum section, general discussion, StarCraft 2. You can win a headset. So I'll give some more details later on about that. But for now, big thanks as well to Toss.ita for organizing this whole thing and getting Cats.root to organize the America team. So big thanks to them.
Tarson's doing perfect timing so far with his build order, already going into an orbital command over in his main. At the same time, behind the mineral line of Kiwikaki, behind both of his assimilators here, he's decided to put his cybernetics core. So he's keeping that way back in the back of his base, pretty well defended. Yeah, it's behind that pylon, behind that gateway. That's going to be one of the last things that would be able to be attacked unless there was a major drop play in the back here. Yeah, but with the positioning of both of our players here, drop play isn't probably going to be as viable a choice.
I think for harassment style, depending on if the game goes into the late game, where of course Kiwikaki is going to be expanding away from his opponent up towards the top left-hand corner, the Protoss army really excels when it's in a big ball. When you got your Colossi, if you have any Void Rays, you really need to keep almost your whole army together, which really allows Tarson, and he is kind of famous for it, to use his drop play.
Yes. And Tarson is going pretty straightforward here with his build order. He is putting a reactor onto his barracks, going to go heavy marine, and the factory is about 80% complete, so that'll be up in just a brief moment.
Yeah, I'm curious if it's going to be a Hellion or if he's going to go straight to, oh, it is a Tech Lab, and he's going to go straight to tanks. I don't see an armory coming up, so I doubt it's going to be a Thor. Really, cross-spawn positions, Thors aren't that useful in the early timing push, unless you're going to go all in and send a ton of SCVs as well. But if it's scouted, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. But there are lots of Marines here to prevent any additional scouting.
If it looks like first tank is already on its way out onto the field, we have sentries and immortals coming over on the side of Kiwikaki. Tarson has also just placed down a second barracks in his main.
I like this from Kiwikaki. A lot of Protoss players, as we've seen yesterday, are just going straight to Robotics Bay and wanting to get as many Colossi out as possible. But Kiwikaki's sticking to Immortals and now getting an Observer. I really like that play from him.
He's doing a nice balanced early play. Looks like the muscle of his army are going to be these Immortals. I don't think he has a second one queued up quite yet, but I wouldn't be surprised for him to get 2 or 3 more Immortals out, along with a nice balance of these Stalkers. Looks like he's going to be moving on to keep up with those gateway units. He does have Warp Gate almost complete. We'll be warping those. He does. Yes, he does have another gateway in. And in the back, wow, look at this. Kiwikaki is going into Robo Bay.
Not a bad timing for the Robo Bay, as long as he gets at least 1 or 2 more Immortals out. He's only working off 1 base right now, so it's not like he's going to be able to sustain a lot of production right now. He still has not built that Immortal. I'm curious what he's saving his money up. It might be for an expansion. Yes, that probe is heading to his natural, and here comes the expansion. I really like this style. Once again, he should be fine unless Tarson does some kind of timing push. He is putting up some missile turrets, so I think he may be just wanting to keep the observers out of his base. There is one hovering over top of his mineral line now. It looks like he's setting up for a scan, but no, he did not have enough energy. He was trying to scare away that observer with those Marines.
Excellent presence of mind just to be able to even see that observer. Got too close to that missile turret and was just absolutely wiped out by all those Marines. But he does know the army composition that is heading its way over towards his base. Siege tech is not yet complete. It's only just about halfway done, so it's going to be quite a while until these siege tanks can really do that hold-in maneuver that I was talking about, really be able to force Kiwikaki to stay in his base, and that is expansion. Looks like he's going to stick here on the high ground. No, he's actually still moving in.
A rather large push here. Kiwikaki has been continually chrono boosting probes. He's at 31 right now, but Tarson, on the other hand, actually is down to 24, so he kind of stopped his production, just focused on the army.
Oh, look at this. He's even doing a bunker push here. Has a bunker building up at the front lines here, just outside of the natural expansion of Kiwikaki. That Nexus was canceled. That is huge that he was able to make that Nexus get canceled.
And now he's got way too much saturation, so he's wasted a lot of money on, or minerals on probes, and a lot of his chrono boost is wasted, of course. Now he's getting another Colossi out. He's got one on the field, only one Immortal. I'd like to see one more, maybe even two, to take care of these tanks. Unsieging at the wrong time. Kiwikaki pushing out when these bunkers are not ready. I think he's going to clean up this containment here from Tarson quite easily. And
Zealots
yes, those tanks died completely.
So there goes the entire army composition there of Tarson. He does have some Marines in a single bunker at the back, brings in a medevac and a siege tank, so he's still getting some damage done, but it's not nearly as much as he would have wanted, especially with how many units he's already lost thus far. And he's now chasing off these Marines with this Zealot push and one Immortal at the back.
That Immortal did so much damage that against those bunkers and those siege tanks. It was crucial to that push. If he wouldn't have got that Immortal and just would have focused on the Colossi, I think it would have been a whole lot different game there.
Zealots are now moving their way up to the high ground at the high yield of Tarson. Well, Tarson doesn't have it yet, but it's his natural high yield. 2 Colossi now, also a part of this unit composition. 3rd is on the way. More Stalkers on the way as well. And that second Nexus has been placed back up and is currently halfway done.
And he's only got 1 siege tank here. I'm a little surprised at this. So he's only working off of Marines and a couple medevacs here. But if he pushes at the right time, or he might just sneak his Colossi up here and take out as many workers as possible, that's going to force his Marines to need to get out of position. If he moves up with this Immortal, he could easily take out that siege tank.
Yeah, all these Marines stuck at the top. I don't believe they have stim. No, they do not. There is no stim on those Marines. Starport's trying to push out some Banshees. First one makes its way out onto the field. Second one is in queue, but he's food capped. He cannot build that second Banshee. And
there's only, well, there's 4 Stalkers here now to fight off these Banshees. There is no Cloak, of course. It's just too early with all this tech and units to have Cloak. So he's gotta feel in a bad position here as Kiwikaki's now containing Tarson. Kind of the other way around.
Banshee trying to push out to try and do some damage probably to the mineral line of Kiwikaki, just shooting straight across the map. That's been spotted, though, and is there a defense in the base of Kiwikaki? I'm not seeing all that much. I don't see any Stalkers in the base, only a single Colossus. Nothing can really be done.
That Banshee's been redirected, though. He tried to take a couple shots at the Colossi, but the Stalkers were there to protect them.
Still moving his way around, and here comes the counter push again. A ton more Marines this time, backed up by 2 medevacs and 2 tanks.
Yeah, Tarson's going to be feeling in a little bit of trouble here. His first containment just did not work out, and now the expansion is up for Kiwikaki, and all those harvesters that he produced at the beginning of the game are now in full effect. 43 harvesters to 27. His income is just off the charts compared to Tarson's right now, and his army is even quite a bit bigger right now. 99 supply of 83, and he's pushing into these siege tanks that are sieged up. His Immortal's not in the front, so he's not going to be absorbing the brunt of that damage, but I think he's going to be able to easily clean up this force. The Marines still do not have stim, and he's in a lot of trouble here.
Thermal Lance is completed just before that fight occurred. There's still a single Banshee left alive after that fight, and he's trying to do some damage with it, trying to push forward and take out maybe at least one of those Colossi. One's down to low health and half shield, but Stalkers come in just the last moment and scare them off.
Yeah, Tarson's trying to contain Kiwikaki here with some bunkers, but he's just not getting the right timing. They're not getting constructed, and oh, all the stalkers die. So there's a Banshee here that can maybe get a Colossi kill if he focuses down the weak one, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Kiwikaki, well, Tarson GG's. So it looks like that's going to be it for game one. Kiwikaki is going to take it, and we're going to be going on to game two here right away.
All right. So up 1-0 for Kiwikaki currently. USA finally has a win first. It's the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. Go USA.